to the Comictopia last hour live stream. I know technically it's like now the last 54 minutes. We were waiting on a couple people. It's fine. Everything's fine. But we'll stay 6 minutes late. We can do that,
It's
right?
all a lie!
So I've got a few of the creators from Comictopia projects and a few of the minds behind the Comictopia project as a whole from BackerKit. So does everybody want to introduce themselves? Let's just start. Like, I'm Sarah. I'm from Laguna Studios. My project was Granica, sci-fi outer space adventure thingy with a talking cat. And we'll just go that way. We'll start and go that way. So go
All right.
fish.
I'm Mr. Fish from Mr. Fish Comics. I was the colorist on Granica, and also I did Alice Lost in Wonderland, which is successful on Comictopia, and I'm super excited about. Awesome multiversal story about Alice being lost in this interdimensional rift called Wonderland, and all these cool public domain characters are crashing in from different worlds. And it's a story I've been working on for 30 years, and I'm super excited about it. I can't wait to get into people's hands. And then next we have Eric over there.
I'm Eric Erdick. This time around, I'm doing a campaign for True Noir Tales. The name says it all. Basically, it is real life, stranger than fiction stories that I've either lived or heard, made into comic book form, and they are stuff that actually is more weird than everybody else has in their fiction comics. I want to ask you guys later if you guys have had some weird stories, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Hey, I am Jason.
Hey,
Chu.
Kyron.
I work at BackerKit, but I'm also a creator. My first project ever was a comic book. I've also done enamel pins and 2 board games. One of my biggest games recently was on BackerKit called Realm Runners. So in the manufacturing process of that. But yeah, been at BackerKit for 7+ years and helping kind of form both Pintopia and currently Comictopia and some future unrevealed topias moving forward. But yeah, very exciting.
I hope you're going to share that with the Comictopia class so that we can get in on that, maybe.
Way to Lafayette here.
We just got Topias on top of Topias. My name is Lafayette Morrow. I am a senior customer success at BackerKit. I've been here for over 5 years and have sorry to the other creators, but Laguna Studios is kind of legit one of my favorite creators. I've been working with y'all since the beginning of time. You have helped so many creators on this platform, both on Kickstarter and BackerKit. So super excited to be here. Super excited to just see this, brand new Comictopia and everything that we've learned from it. So thank you.
Hi, and Matt just joining us now.
Hello.
You want to introduce yourself and tell us what your project is?
Yeah, mine's the Dr. Gravelight one, and it's kind of like a horror meets superhero meets Hellboy kind of situation going on. Yeah.
Awesome. And I think I might be the only creator here that didn't fund, so so go back my stuff, guys. Back everybody's, Absolutely. But back mine first, okay?
There's 15 minutes left.
Yeah, we still got time. But there's actually there is one project that is not funded but is really close, and you guys should go try and help that one push it over the edge because that would be amazing. Ooh, another.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Awesome. So glad you could join us.
I actually can't stay very long, but you guys put me on the advertising, so I thought I should show up.
Yeah, I was too lazy to change that after you said you might not make it.
No, I just got absolutely swamped today, but I wanted to come on and thank everybody who's watching for if they backed Karma, if they backed anybody's campaign. It is great because you're helping everybody out. So thank you very much for that. But also I want to congratulate all you guys. You've put together amazing books and amazing campaigns. And this Comictopia thing has been absolutely terrific. So thank you guys for all your hard work as well. And thank you for everybody who backed Karma. So, but yeah, I just had to pop in for a minute, but now I got to get back to work.
Well, thank you for stopping in. I really appreciate it. And I hope you get your work done.
Thank you. And to a couple of you that I have not met yet, hopefully I will get a chance to talk to you sometime soon. Take care, everybody.
Awesome. Thank you. That was cool. I didn't think he was gonna make it. He told me that he wasn't gonna be able to make it, and at the last second, so I didn't think he was gonna do that. But that was really nice. Yeah, so what do we I think I want to hear about as much that as Jason and Lapia will tell us about how Comictopia has been going in the behind the scenes. But also it'd be really cool to hear from other creators about what we think about Comictopia and how it's been going, and I'm sure you guys want to hear that information too.
Yeah, sure. I think probably the best place to start is just the concept of Utopia and like what is Utopia.
Yes,
And
perfect.
really, BackerKit became a full-fledged platform not too long ago. We were in beta studying what creators need, and it took a while for us to commit to doing this, but creators asked for it over and over and over again. So we finally took the plunge, and it's been working out really wonderfully. But we also know you don't need two Kickstarters or two Indiegogos. So how are we coming into the platform differently? And I think something that makes BackerKit unique, besides the team, which I think is just amazing, like end to end, everybody that works at BackerKit, around 50 of us, very small and nimble, considering how many people we interact with every day. Something I love is we're always investigating the relationship between creators and backers and creators and creators and backers and just trying to make that better and better. So we have a very much community approach. Obviously, the transaction is important, but I think, as anybody knows that's been on other platforms, it's become quite transactional, and we're losing some of the heart that makes crowdfunding. And I'm not going to say we're going to solve it or answer it immediately, but I think things like Topias are a step in the right direction, where we not only bring you a platform that has new tools to engage with people, but we get you talking to each other. As you all know, being a part of Comictopia, it's a first try. This is new. Everything we're doing is experimental, new. So I am forever grateful for every participant in Comictopia, because it's not refined yet. We're learning from you, taking your feedback, and refining it as we go to make it better for the next creator in line. And that's kind of what BackerKit stands for. We kind of watch, interact, have the pleasure to work with people, like kind of in the weeds with them. And then what we learn, we like to bring to the next creator. So, everything we learn from Comictopia will make whatever the next Topia is that much better. So, we feel sometimes selfish for doing it that way, but it's the only way we can move forward as a community and really do new things for crowdfunding. So I think it's really interesting. And we had proven the concept with Pintopia twice. We did a very small scale one, and which was 20 people. Everybody got funded. It felt great. Then we blew it up and did 120 people. And the next year raised $1 million collectively. It was wild. So we're like, okay, now it's time to go cross category. And tons of people have been begging for more books, some kind of jolt for comics in crowdfunding. And I think this is the start of that. While it might not be like perfect every time, but I think we're gonna have a similar jump from Comictopia 1 to 2 now that we've learned all this stuff and had all you awesome people run these great books. So I think it's still just the tip of the iceberg. I don't think we've solved anything yet. I think we're still pushing it forward, but it's been a great pleasure of mine to get to know all of you digitally. So now I get to see some of you in person, or whatever this is, the middle, almost in person.
In person.
Yeah, but it's been fantastic. And as we've done this and as we've grown it and we're looking at more categories, we're starting to onboard more folks like Lafia to kind of tackle other categories. So maybe you can chime in about like what we've got kind of in your experience so far with these Topias, but also like maybe a sneak peek at what's coming up ahead.
Yeah, absolutely, and agree with everything that Jason said. The Topias are just fantastic. I mean, being in the crowdfunding realm for this long, I feel like creators and their projects are always siloed. It's just, that one creator, their one project, and then they're just out there in the weeds. They have a whole bunch of competition. They don't have anybody to lean on. They're not really connected with the other creators in their niche. There's no way to support each other. You can cross promote like on your social media platforms, but I feel like the bread and butter of these Topias is connecting the creators and giving you a chance to lean on one another, right? Like, I don't know if you guys did this before when you were launching your crowdfunding campaigns, but I've just seen with the Topias, all the chatter that goes on in the Discord, y'all getting together and doing these live streams every week, bringing in a whole bunch of different creators and their projects. I was with Eric and we were on the Comics Launch podcast. Was that last week or 2 weeks ago? God,
I think it's
time
2
is
weeks.
just building together. But Jason and I just got back from Gen Con, so apologies, we're really tired, but we're here. We're still here for the creators. I was like, I gotta see Comictopia to the end. But just the overall sentiment at Gen Con is creators were just so thankful that we're creating the space. We're doing these experimental topias, having creators launch all at the same time, giving them that space that they can talk to each other. And they're saying other platforms, they don't do that. They don't even hear from the other platforms. They don't get to talk to their customer support. They don't get to talk to the other creators in their kind of group launches that they also have. So BackerKit, we lean in real hard to failing. That's kind of one of our motives, failing hard. So we're learning from these topias. We just make every iteration better and better. And so I'm kind of leading a booktopia. I know, Sarah, you said the book category is finally coming to BackerKit, and we're just leaning into it really hard. We want backers to see that BackerKit is a platform for comic books and novels. So Booktopia is going to be launching on September 5th, and it's kind of it's just all over the place. We have romance novels, young adult children's books, cookbooks, and so it's anything that's a book qualifies to be on Booktopia. So there's learnings and challenges there, and I'm going to take all the learnings from Comictopia and hopefully give the Booktopians a little step up. But yeah, appreciate everything that y'all have been doing, and thanks for hanging with us with all the topias, because we have a full schedule and we're looking into 2025 already. So this is just kind of Jason and I's life now.
That's awesome.
And I can add one small thing to that, which we kind of tested at Gen Con. We were kind of like, are people intrigued in this concept or not? But in 2025, early, probably March, we're also going to be doing one for tabletop games called Pocketopia, which is going to emphasize smaller scale games that you can travel with, easy to learn, roll and writes, dice games, card games, small board games, things that can fit in your backpack and stuff like that. So we got a lot of interest for that at Gen Con, with some early commits already to join that party. So I think we're gonna keep trying this new model and just keep pushing it forward, because the delta between Pintopia 1 and Pintopia 2 was so different. It just told us, if you try it once and it doesn't go perfectly, just keep going, keep trying it. So we're gonna probably give these all a couple tries or variations. So, but yeah, I think overall the success metrics are high above industry normal. So we're gonna keep going with it.
Mm-hmm.
That's
you could absolutely
Twotopias I'm after now. It's I'm kind of mad that I'm not, my book idea is nowhere near ready to go. But if it was, I'd be all opinion about that.
I'm sitting here
yes,
thinking,
I have to be.
I'm fast. I wonder if I could put something out quick enough that was worth it. But
great, that's perfect. Yeah, well
maybe next time though.
yeah,
there'll probably be at least a couple tries per category until we can,
sure.
because you got to learn. It's like going to school. Running crowdfunding campaigns, as everybody here knows, it's free, or not free, because it's time and energy and often money. So that's the worst thing I could say. But education is a part of the deal. So no matter what separates the consistent campaigns from the non-consistent campaigns is, if it doesn't go your way, you learn from it, adjust, and try again, and be okay with doing that. It doesn't. If you have an unfunded project, it's not going to ruin your brand. It's not going to define who you are as a creator. Hopefully, while it might feel embarrassing, I don't see that trend with backers. If anything, it's an opportunity for you to really rally the troops and relaunch and have a calculated next try, because I rarely see people that retry after unfunded unsuccessful again.
Yeah,
they just learn so much that when they try again. But that division between people that will do it again, it's pretty staggering.
That blew my mind. The first time one of my clients' books didn't fund the first time, I was like, well, crap, it failed. Like, if it was my book alone, I would have said, well, people don't want it, and I would have gone and done something else. It wouldn't have
Right.
even occurred to me to relaunch. He just retooled the site, relaunched it, and funded almost immediately, because all the people that had backed the first one came back, and then he got the new people, and it went great, and it blew my mind. But that makes the difference between the people that are going to be successful and not. Like,
Exactly.
if you don't let those little things stop you, and you're like, all right, fine, let's fix it and make it work this time.
Yeah.
The espresso's kicking in, guys. I feel a rant coming on. All right, so basically, it's so cool, Jason and Lafayette. You guys are starting to feel a little bit. I mean, you said you've done campaigns before, but you're going through some of the growing pains that we go through. I mean, the whole idea of like, oh, the first Pintopia didn't work, the second one's better. That's what running a comic book campaign's like. You know, it's like the first one's like, oh, damn it, I only got like 25 backers, you know. And then, of course, Lafayette was telling us in the other podcast that you guys are providing a freebie for people who back 5 Comictopia campaigns. And then we asked them, oh, by the way, how do you guys ship that out? And you guys sit there after work with pizza, packing all the packages. Guess what we do every single campaign?
Right.
I don't have any kids, and people are like, oh, we have kid slave labor, you know, putting stuff in the envelopes and licking the stamps and stuff. It's like, you guys are actually growing this platform in a similar way that us creators grow our campaigns, or at least, you know, we're hoping to grow our campaigns, because I had a campaign that did $10,000 with 300 backers, and it was like taking the first crack pipe hit. I'm trying to reach that high again. You know, I haven't been able to hit that again, but it's like it's the draw. You know, it's like that's what I'm going for. So and for sure, the nice thing about Comictopia really was being able to interact with people, because we're all kind of cave trolls. I mean, who here loves hanging out with tons of people every day in public?
I never leave my house except for
Cricket,
once.
Like every day. I mean, like sure, tons of people, but every day.
This is the
Even like-
interaction I get with people is over.
No, seriously.
That's true, and this is I can handle this. I can handle this every day, but
Right.
even that gets a little bit like the bright lights in my face all the time. Actually, are way more exhausting than I would ever have expected until I was live streaming every single day to try and push this campaign. Yeah, I agree with basically everything that y'all said, and I mean, okay, so I'm the one who didn't fund, who hasn't, like I said, there's still time, but well before this campaign launched, I think maybe even before, like, we just have a plan in place for when campaigns fail, because we run a lot of campaigns, and we know we can't expect them all to succeed. Like, yes, usually they do, usually we do good, but not every time. So we always have a plan in place, and we just like that with this one, we have a plan in place. So if this one doesn't fund, we're gonna take care of it. Like, it's not the end of the book, and like this in general, doing Comictopia has been a very positive experience. I mean, look at all the people that I met. I didn't know any of you guys except Fish before I started this, and now I've met and talked with everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, if that alone was incredibly valuable to me.
I don't know if people know this, but we got a Discord channel.
Great about this. Oh, sorry.
There's the creator
Go ahead,
down there.
It's your turn, Matt. Go for it.
Oh, one of the things I think is actually great about this, and I saw this more with Pintopia just because I've done comics for a while, but is because there's a community. Like, I had never made pins before, and so I didn't know manufacturing. I didn't know what kind of files to turn in. I didn't know any of that kind of stuff. And the Topia is actually is really good for like a jumping on point for people who are new to this.
Yes.
Because they can talk to people who, you know, have produced, you know, tons of pins. So like, where, you know, what do you guys use to manufacture it? And they'll tell you, you know, how much does it cost to send these things out? Like, you can get all those answers that you won't find in Kickstarter, or you won't find in any of the other, you know, crowdfunding thing. You're kind of just on your own, you know. And I think it's that part of it is definitely really, really helpful.
Oh, absolutely. Like the help and the guidance that we got from BackerKit was amazing to me. Like, I was floored, because I've worked on like 90 something books now in 5 years, And that's a
Whoa.
whole lot of Kickstarters
Right?
that I've been a part of.
This guy is a
I
machine.
have never spoken to anybody from Kickstarter ever. Like,
Yeah.
I have never gotten beyond an
I think I've
automated
spoken to one person, one
And
human
I
on
have talked
Kickstarter.
to
Yeah.
people that like have emails of somebody at Kickstarter, but I've never spoken to anybody. Getting like to talk with you guys, getting like response to like, hey, here's some stuff you could do better on your campaign page. Things like make sure it looks good on the phone was something that I usually think about, but this time it just didn't hit me. And I was like, oh crap, yeah, that's awesome. Yes, I absolutely 100% need to do that.
Oh yeah, I
And-
never thought about that until Lafia suggested it, and I was like, oh no, I've been doing this wrong this whole time.
Yeah, it was so much help on that aspect of it. Really, for once, made me feel like I wasn't doing this all by myself out, in an ocean trying to figure out how to swim. That was so great. And then the tools and stuff are lined up, easy to find, and things were a little bit easier. There were a couple little things that like the images for the items being a different size than they are on Kickstarter. Like, I was like, God, I gotta remake all those little images.
My
but that's a
template,
small
no.
thing. That was a little thing, but everything else ran so smoothly and so nice, and the help. And then I got so many new eyes on the project. I was surprised how many of my regular Kickstarter backers did not come over from like my last
Same,
couple of
same.
campaigns.
Yeah, same here.
And some of them are just like, well, I'll wait till it's add-on on your next Kickstarter. And I'm like, all right, fine. But I got more backers than I got on my last like 3 campaigns over here with mostly new eyes. So that's really awesome. That's new people seeing my stuff. Hopefully they come back for the next book, and it's not just because of the Comictopia crossover. Hopefully these are new people that are going to enjoy it, keep coming back. But
Yeah,
man,
I
it
think
has been
that
such a positive process.
I think that we got tons of new backers too, like people who've never even heard of us before, which isn't, I'm not like going like, how could you not have heard of Laguna Studios? Like, obviously, like there's tons of people that haven't heard of Laguna Studios, but they've been backing comics for a long time, and they, indie comics, and they've never heard of us. And I was like, oh, well, allow me to introduce you to everything we have, And I am really excited that because these people were all people who are very excited for Granica, and so I'm excited to be able to form a good business partnership, like where we can offer them stuff and like take their suggestions. Like, I love it when our fans tell us what they'd like to see, because we can use those suggestions to make our stuff better.
I
And-
would able
like
to
the
do
polls.
that community engagement, the polls, things
Yes.
like that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Amazing.
Can we all like? I think we all probably agree on this, but like using BackerKit to set up a campaign versus using Kickstarter to set up a campaign, like BackerKit totally
Yeah.
wins as far as I'm
It's got
like
a
the
lot more fun
BackerKit
bells and
wins.
whistles for sure. It's got
Yes.
more bells and whistles and more options.
It's
and
a little
control.
friendlier to use,
Yeah.
and you've got that whole community page, which Kickstarter has the comments, but it's not the same. You can't interact with people in the same way that you can with polls and discussions. Like, you can ask you can set up a poll that has a correct answer and then give away a prize to whoever gets the right answer. Like, it's amazing. It's so cool, and like Kickstarter needs to pick up their game with that stuff.
Or the incentives that you could do for anybody
Yes, that too.
comes back for a previous campaign gets this, and it's automatic.
Yeah.
And I don't
Yes,
have
yes,
to-
yeah. We didn't have to
Right.
go manually through and check everybody's names. Like, that's so
Yeah.
much nicer. Oh,
or anybody that comes in the first 48 hours get.
I got a new
yes,
flash.
yes, yes.
I just hit 80 backers right now.
There
Congratulations!
you go.
Kicking up.
Also for the something I investigated, because I ran 2 Kickstarters and then I ran the first batch of when we were doing beta for BackerKit. So like I was worried about that. Like, will they come back? I never heard of someone that wouldn't support me that's in my community because of the platform I was on. So sometimes it's just timing, or they maybe want to come anyway. But I think Jeremy, what you were talking about, I definitely did for my first few campaigns offer incentives for returning backers, which was which I didn't really mention with Comictopia. Maybe I should have doubled down on that a little bit, because I do see it works decently. Whether it's a bookmark or something like that, just saying like, hey, if you've backed any of my previous campaigns and you come back for this one, I'm going to throw you a little something extra for being there for the long haul. And with BackerKit, you can also segment like who's backed, if you've run so many projects, I would love to dive into that data and be like, there's somebody that's probably backed all of them or most of them. So it's like, maybe there's
a handful of people that are like my diamond dudes that just, they're going to come through for whatever it is. And like one of them really surprised me that he didn't have a BackerKit account set up yet, because I know so many indie books come to BackerKit to do their fulfillment, and I've had so many books I backed that we had to come over here to fulfill it and put in all my details in my survey. It surprised me that he hadn't been over here yet, but he set up an account over here because I had this campaign here, and he's like, well, yeah, I'm going to come back your book. Sure. So those dudes are awesome.
We had a couple. We did run a book. We ran a Cthulhu is Hard to Spell, the first 3 issues, or first 3 anthology sets, volumes. Thank you. That's the word I wanted. We ran that first campaign on BackerKit, and we did have a lot of people say, I've never heard of BackerKit. I don't trust this site. And I was like, we did convince several of them to back despite their misgivings, their concerns, I guess, because we were like, well, we wouldn't encourage you to back here if we didn't trust them, and you trust us, right? And then also, you've been using BackerKit way longer than you think, because we've been using BackerKit for all of our surveys, and then now you've been doing this for a few years now. You've been doing the crowdfunding for 3 years. 4 years,
something like that.
Yeah, it's been a minute now, and now I think people trust it more, which is good. I think that we've had a lot more people on this campaign come over and back from Kickstarter than we had for that first book that we ran, for sure.
Yeah, to give some insight on that, early, I've been at BackerKit for a long time, and when I started, we were exclusively a pledge manager. So that's all we did. We only did, once someone was successful on another platform, they would use BackerKit. And it was, it wasn't a branding exercise. We didn't want to put BackerKit logo all over everything. We really just wanted to help creators fill that gap. Like, a lot of people are just 1 or 2 creators. So it was important to us that the survey and the tools that they were using looked like they were coming from the creator, So we actually just at most had a little powered by BackerKit kind of logo. So we weren't trying to like steal spotlights or anything. We were just trying to make sure creators had the best experience possible. So from a branding point of view, maybe not the best move, but it's just one of the many things that shows you that we're really, it's all about the creator experience and the backer experience. And, we just want you to be empowered and
right. You guys aren't the only Kickstarter helper people out there. Like, there's other companies, and I can't think of any of their names right now, because we've honestly only ever used BackerKit seriously. And the other ones that when I get surveys for them, they often are very broadly branded, and it's a little more I don't want to say like less trustworthy, but like it's a little more I like the way BackerKit does it with the minimal branding. But then when you did launch the crowdfunding, it might have bit you in the behind a little bit there.
Maybe, but like I said, we didn't. BackerKit's not a think tank of like, what do we do next? How do we do it? We're just listening to creators. And when creators ask for it or show us the path, we just like to follow it and make sure that it's accessible to everybody else. So really, the kind of the genesis of the platform was one creator saying, I would love it if you just did the whole thing. And we're, good idea. And then over and over.
I know, Matt, you have to get going, but I really appreciate that you were able to pop in and give your 2 cents on a couple of these things.
And I want to say congratulations to everybody. Even if your project didn't fund, we still have a half an hour. I think it could happen.
It's not the first project we've had that didn't fund, so it'll be fine.
Hey, Matt, thanks a lot for putting together that whole Exquisite Corpse book. And
this guy did all that. All of that work. It was awesome. And it looks amazing. Y'all need to make sure you back 5 Comictopia projects so that you can get that book, because it is super cool.
It's
super cool.
I'll be talking to y'all soon.
All right. Yes, and that's a guy that I never would have met if it hadn't been for Comictopia. Very cool. So thank you. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, the whole thing about for people who didn't know, who weren't on the inside of this thing, BackerKit set up a Discord channel for us, and I actually never really been on Discord except for gaming. And it was really nice to have all these different categories to be able to talk to people in the project, to be able to talk to backer Kit, ask questions, interact. And I mean, literally, that's where we all got to know each other. And Kickstarter does not have a Discord channel. They do not have any kind of way.
Yeah,
for
if
us
they
to
do,
interact.
we're certainly not invited.
Oh, if they do,
Exactly.
it's got to be chaos.
Oh
my god!
I'll tell you kind of part of the reason that exists is, you know, to be fair to Kickstarter, they have a scale issue, right? There's an enormous amount of people on that platform running at any given time. So it is a little bit harder to do that. So a strict advantage that we have is, you know, we are going to scale to that degree eventually, but part of my job is how to retain human to human interaction and trading advice, trading resources, connecting. It is going to, I'm going to, no matter how hard it gets moving forward, I'm going to hope that we retain that, because it's very important for me for people to talk and communicate and be in a shared space like that. And short term, Discord is the answer for that. It gets us together and chatting, and our staff is in there. So I mean, many of you just, hey, Jason, I have a question. DM me or ask me. You know, I have hours, of course, because I have a family and, you know, have to sleep and stuff. But you know, we're accessible. We want to, you know, every conversation we have, we're learning, we're taking note. And, you know, if we get feedback and we don't act on it immediately, that just means there isn't a pattern yet. But we do note it, you know, it's always noted. So once I see that pattern, 1, 2, 3 people saying it, hey, let's look at this, share it with the broader team, the product team. And then we're like, you know what, this is a good pattern. Let's try and, like, you know, move and shake. Because as you know, everybody's different, starting from different places, have different categories, different projects. So we can't just change everything the second it's a problem for one person. But when that pattern arises, I can almost guarantee you it'll be taken seriously.
Hey, Katie. Katie's here.
Hey, Lafayette, didn't you once say something about you guys are building Kickstarter as it's flying or something like that? What was that expression you used?
Oh, we're building backer kit. We're building the plane as we fly it.
Yeah, I can build the plane as you fly.
And we literally just dropped an items feature from when you're building your campaign page, so you can actually set up your items now before you go pre-live. And then I think Dev actually got it, so when you're in the pledge manager, you can automatically create the items from the ones that you made in the campaign. If you didn't do it for Comictopia, it's not gonna be there, but it's gonna be there for your next project. Like they literally just
so we can
this.
make the items and then just put them into different campaigns.
Yeah.
And not, because that's
I
the
saw
part that
that.
drives me nuts. I'm adding the same add-ons every time for all the back issues and stuff, and having to build it from scratch every time and try not to make a spelling mistake or something.
Listen,
stresses me out so bad.
I did both Pintopia projects, and between the two, it's 30 or 40 pins. I feel it too. I'm doing the same thing. I'm part of that feedback pattern. I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Oh,
so,
man.
Yeah.
There's some of that stuff that there's no way around, but like a lot of it, there could be definite tools made to fix it. Like
books.
Yeah, exactly.
If I could just bring those other ones over, you will never get rid of me. Like that alone would make my life so much easier.
That's the thing that we have on Granica. This is the first time we've ever done it. We had to buy the entire Laguna Studios library tier. It's obviously stupid expensive because you're buying every single book. But like we're like, if one person buys that, it's going to be a nightmare to load up all those graphics for that. But we only have to do it once now, and that's awesome.
Exactly.
So yeah, like I'm really excited about features like that too, and it's super cool that we can discuss it directly with you guys in Discord. And I don't know if you're gonna do, like, if you're trying to build a backer kit like portal for conversations like that, because Discord sure works fine. But if you do, I definitely want to jump in on that, and like that way I can be, because some of the things that I talked about in the Comictopia Discord, we talked about. And like other creators, we were workshopping with it and like actively came up with solutions for problems. Like, I mean, I didn't know about, I didn't think about a tip jar, for example, doing a tip jar tier. Like, good idea. Did not think about that.
That was my idea.
There were others. Yeah, there were other ideas that happened for sure. But yeah, like,
which I took and made like a tip jar / build your own tier, and you could pick
that was cool.
add-ons you want and put on there. And it was great. I had a lot of success with that one before, but now that we're doing the shipping afterwards, you know, and figuring out exactly what your shipping is going to be, I don't have to add that into the tier and make it like a $5 or $10 tier to do that, just to cover the base shipping. I can be like, yeah, it's $1. You can do whatever you want, and we'll figure out the exact what the shipping is going to be for you. It's
Awesome.
I love it.
Quick question, Jason. You're talking about like what happens when BackerKit scales. You know, expecting the best when it scales huge like the Kickstarter. What's your plan for making the Discord channel work at that scale?
That's right. So it's all tentative. So anything I say here is just like with a grain of salt, because
Yeah.
you know, Discord was new to me a few years ago. I'd picked at it with a few fandoms here and there that had encouraged me to join it, but I'd never run my own server. So I think the answer to that is going to be, you know, time will tell, but there is a lot of room to organize Discord by category, for example. And I always try and think of what our unfair advantage is as a company. And to me, it's access to our creator base. And a lot of creators that have maybe been down the road before, or maybe have more predictable outcomes for their campaigns because they've been doing it so much, a lot of them are always asking me how they can help. So I'm going to guess that the future of scaling is going to be recruiting folks like creators that have run campaigns that are open to helping community manage a little bit and get them in as some moderators and some help. That way, it's, you know, right now it's just our staff 100% like keeping it together, but I can name a handful of people that have expressed interest to get in there and have more of a role. So I think there might be probably a shifting of how we organize the sidebar to be a little bit more maybe category adjacent instead of just broad. And then probably recruit some of our creators that are in there. I can't name names yet, but some of them are rather large, and they can, you know, they have a lot of weight, so their input and their community skills are kind of already there. They've done this before with their own communities. So I'm gonna guess that's how we're gonna do it within the Discord realm.
Well, and that splits up the work too among other people, and then you have people that are skilled in doing this, helping out, not just like, oh yeah, I'm willing to volunteer, but like I actually put out successful books, people back them, like I'm willing to share some answers with you and give you some advice. That would be invaluable to be able to talk with other people that are doing what we do, and you know, and that actually do it, not just like want us to come use their service, but like people that are actually doing it, being successful. Like I want to run my idea past you and see, like, does this sound as good to you as it does to me?
Exactly.
Or are you seeing something that I don't? Yeah.
Here's a couple of ideas like just came to me. I mean, you could actually, like you said, have a whole channel, just a whole server just for comics, and then each month, like have an August group. So basically, only people running a campaign in August have access to that channel, and that keeps it much more manageable. You have a whole bunch of different servers, one for each month, and one for each category, and then one for each month that they're running it.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, I think it's just, you know, luckily a tool like Discord is very, very malleable. So it's kind of like a ball of clay. So we can really experiment with ideas and test things out. So far, it's actually pretty manageable. Like I think with our team, and just to be honest, it's been just like me and a small community team in there early days, and just maybe this past year we've been kind of getting more teams at BackerKit involved, and just having one more person in there like Lafia or somebody else that's on our team, it actually just makes it immensely easier. Like Lafia is running the Booktopia channels right now. I look at it, but I don't have to do anything if I'm not needed. So it's like wonderful. So like we can kind of divide and conquer a lot more than we could have, say, a year ago.
As a studio that is woefully understaffed, I fully agree with that. Like, I would love to be able to go and look at a project and be like, I don't have to touch this if I don't feel like it.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, there's friction with new tools, like another thing to log into or another thing to do. But you know, I'm kind of like slow and steady wins the race kind of guy. So I'm like, trust me, guys, this is gonna work. Let's just keep at it. So I do have to kind of like bear it for a while by myself until I can prove it. But it has proven itself at this point, so I can drop my shoulders a little bit.
Everybody gets annoyed when a new tool comes that makes you have to learn something and break your flow, but if it's a good tool, then they'll do it eventually, even if it's begrudgingly, and then they'll learn that it's a good tool. So
exactly, and I think we're there.
And the joke will be on them.
14 minutes to go in our campaigns.
All right.
Ooh.
Final
I did
countdown.
post the links to a bunch of the campaigns, like our 3 campaigns in there, and if you just like pick one and go and click the Comictopia button, you can see all of them. So it's not super hard. Like I don't have the link for the whole back for the Comictopia thing, but like it's really easy to find it from any one of our individual campaigns. And like go and check out all of them, and you still got a few minutes to do it, and they're all really good. I backed a bunch of, I think I backed like 20.
So
Yeah, I didn't back all of them because I ran out of money, but but like that's the only reason I would have backed everybody's, and I want to support all of my fellow creators, of course, but also everybody just has really good looking books out there. I want to see
I did
these
have to
things.
switch a few of mine to digital because I looked at how much I had backed. I was like, oh goodness,
yeah.
that's a lot.
That's gonna be a big ouchie on August 8th, I think.
Yeah, your budget,
I had to whittle that down by about $100.
Oh, ow, yes. I was like, I was talking with Lori about like how much should we be like. I need a limit here. I need a hard dollar limit on how much we can spend on this, because I cannot like I want to back everybody's, of course, even just to support them, but like everybody just has really good looking stuff, and I want to see it all.
There's so many cool hardcover books, but I'm not
right?
with digital because it adds up quick.
Ow, I'm kind of annoyed at the ones like there's a couple of campaigns that don't have any digital. I was like, please put a digital tier in. I need you to do a digital tier. I can't afford this book otherwise.
Yeah, I think
let me play a little game with you guys here. Lafayette, have you ever had anything happen in your life that if you told people they really would think you're lying, like a true noir tale? Anything come to mind to any of you guys?
I'd have to. I was an Uber driver for 3 years. I had 10,000 rides, so I'm pretty sure I can pull things out of the bag for you.
What's the craziest thing that happened? What's the craziest thing you can say on the air that happened?
Oh my god, in my life, you're putting me on the spot.
No, I mean as an Uber driver.
As an Uber driver, one time it was Derby Day, so it was the Kentucky Derby. So like San Francisco was just crawling with people dressed up, in the funny hats and everything. And I was driving Uber Black at that time, so I had like a really nice car, and picked up these 3 people. It was a couple and then their guy friend. And the couple was just making out the whole entire time in the car, and like I was just sitting next to them. And then finally, like when they came to, and I was
sitting next to them,
dropping them off at a bar, and she gets out of the car and like she pulled a wine bottle out of somewhere, and like I was like, I didn't even know they were drinking. And they're going into a bar, and she proceeds to put the wine bottle in like in the top of her dress, and she's like, "Can you see it?" I was all like, "No, like I guess you're bringing your wine bottle into the bar." So yeah, that kind of stuff happened all the time.
It's cool. Yeah.
Where was she hiding it? I don't want to know. Never mind. As soon as I said it, I said I don't want to know.
She pulled it out of somewhere, and then she put it somewhere else, and it was still gone.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
David Copperfield just.
It was a small wine bottle. I like to keep things spicy.
Oh man.
Well, I just worked at a Blockbuster before Backer Kids, so it's not that exciting.
Oh, come on. That's where Tarantino got his start, right?
Actually, no. My first comic project ever was a Kickstarter, and I worked at Mission Comics and Art in San Francisco for years and years and years. So comics are very near and dear to my heart. Also an artist myself. I haven't made as many comics as I'd like because they're very hard to do, and the amount of work you put into a comic versus sometimes what you get out of it, very challenging for me. So I respect everybody that just keeps going with it and makes a name for themselves in the industry, because it is very hard work. I have a hard time drawing a print and selling it, let alone an entire comic book. So the amount of work, I have so much respect for comics.
Yeah, it is a grinding job. Like it's a job lots of people think they want to do, and then they get started in it, and then they suddenly ghost the client. And I'm like, that's why you need to pay a little more and hire somebody that does it for a living rather than the cheap kid from across the world.
Exactly.
Because like it sounds like a great job, but it's hard. If you ain't built right for it, you're not gonna keep up with it.
And that's just talking about the art, not the lettering or the design or the writing or the marketing.
Coloring.
I encourage everybody to try. If you think that you want to make a comic book, you should try. You should absolutely try, and then you'll know. because you
Here's
won't
my
like
advice.
this. All of this stuff that we've been talking about with like the trial and error and the failures and the
Yeah.
successes for Comictopia and for us as creators and our backer kits and our Kickstarters. It's all because we tried and we didn't know until we tried. So you gotta try. If you think you want to make a comic, do it. Try. And there's
Yeah.
huge communities and resources on the internet. Like the internet is a magical, horrible, terrible, wonderful place, and you have all the information that you need to be able to make a comic is right there. And if you get in good with the indie comics community, you will always have somebody who's willing to help you too. So like, if you think you want to make a comic, do it.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Now,
End of rant.
my nice rant, by the way. You have any copy there? Here's the gray beard. Well, Mr. Fish also, but the gray beard advice. If you really think you love comics and you want to make comics and it's really exciting to you, I recommend you buy our comics and read them. It's a lot more fun to read comics than it is to make them.
There you go.
That's true. And it's for research. Like if you make a comic and you actually like if you can sell it and turn a profit on it, like you can write off all those comic book sales as research. And it's like it's totally legal. I'm not trying to get you to cheat anybody. That is 100% legal because you have to buy stuff to look at it for research. You do. And if you happen to enjoy it, there's nothing wrong with that.
What's working, what's not working. Like I learned so much from the books I get from other people's Kickstarters and stuff, and just
Same.
all kinds of little things like the in-house ads that they do, like what looks good, what drew my eye, what really stuck out and was like, why is this in here? Like, you know, I'm constantly studying what other people are doing and upping my game and making it a little better each time. 100%.
We're at
Awesome.
8 minutes. 8 minutes and
left.
counting.
Yeah, we might might get halfway there. Not out of the realm of possibility. I'm okay with that. Like, Brian, how dare you? He thinks that I tricked him into making comics. Because he's an electrical engineer for money, but for love he writes a lot. Like he's always been a writer. And he's great at crafting stories too. And his mistake was to tell me about those stories, and then I'm sitting there going, this would make a good comic. Stories really would translate well, but some of them do. And he ended up getting in trouble with that.
Yeah.
So just to know from just a little backer kit thing, we're now in the final 10 minutes. So if somebody backs any of these projects that are currently live and they have it activated, the clock will reset to 10 minutes again. It's called overtime mode. So if you back any of these projects, the clock will keep going. So your projects could go on for years if the community shows up. But if not, they'll end when they end. But if you have an active backer right now, you're going to keep going. So I like to always watch the page and see who the last project is, because it'll probably be somewhat soon, but there is going to be one left at some point.
Is that a thing that we can all watch, or is that a thing that you can only see if you are a backer kit employee?
It's just on every individual page, but what I like to do is go to let me find the page for you and I can link it. So you go to like the collection page of all live Comictopia projects, and they will slowly start to go away, like in a very battle royale kind of way.
Cool.
Hey, Sarah, did you boo me for talking too much? I feel like somebody put the big King Kong hand in like the Gong Show. No, my computer crashed. Sorry, the camera's not working now.
I would never do such a thing.
I know.
Except maybe to Fish, because we have a problem. When we get into live streams, we talk too much.
Well, I always have to eventually
I got a new backer,
like,
guys.
I'm leaving and turn it off after the show because we'll talk for 2 hours.
Yeah.
I'm like, I haven't eaten. I need to go eat my dinner. And my wife went to bed 2 hours ago. Like, I gotta go. But we just get to talking, and that's the thing. Like, I wouldn't have met Sarah if it wasn't for doing indie comics, and we just like met through friends in the indie comics world and doing podcasts together and stuff. And now, like, she's one of my best friends. I talk to her every freaking day, and I wouldn't have that if it wasn't for this kind of community. And that's what I really enjoyed about the backer kit thing was getting to meet other people, getting to make a community out of this project rather than just, okay, we're all going to like advertise at the same time, but like getting to actually meet other people and be friends with other creators and getting to talk with people on these podcasts and stuff. It's been so much fun.
Hey guys, I hit 81 backers. I'm almost at 3,500.
Congratulations!
5 minutes to go.
I did
One more
post
backer.
that link. I did post the link to watch the backer kit, to watch the Comictopia stuff. You guys can go
Work.
click and watch them count down. And that should be fun. I have a feeling I know which ones are going to be the last ones to go away.
You
Aw.
never know. All it takes is one back, and then it's
Yeah,
over.
I mean, we could be surprised, but there's a certain type of book that tends to get the most attention. Are we in agreement on that one?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, actually, one of the biggest backers in this one was not a not suitable for work. It was it the Unmentionables? What's it called again? The
Unfamiliars.
Unfamiliars. Yeah, they're like right up there,
Yeah.
and they're totally
Yeah,
suitable
it's
for
almost
work.
at 15,500.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
Yeah, we've got.
do you see them all ticking down? Oh my gosh, this is a little bit. I'm like, I don't care, but I do care, but I don't care, but I do care.
Right.
It's a little, almost stressful. It's almost like watching the Super Bowl.
Oh,
If watching the Super Bowl when your team is playing. That hasn't happened for me in a while.
Yeah, so we'll see. Yeah, it'll be exciting. Come starting at 1:00. Some of these will start ending properly, but yeah, some of the biggest ones, if they just didn't get back in the last 10 minutes, they're just donezo.
gone. Yeah.
I am not. Ours comic is not at the top of that list. So
I don't think it's
Wait.
an order. I don't think it's that smart.
no, but I see a couple that say 2 minutes, and ours does not. Ours says 9 minutes because I'm getting a couple of people trickling in here.
Oh, yeah, this one's like 7 minutes left because they must have got another backer in 2 minutes.
backer train. Choo choo.
8 minutes.
Yeah,
So when we did that hoodie campaign, we did a final hour stream for that, and that was
Oh, I'm at 6 minutes. Somebody backed it.
this guy.
Nice.
I will never make another one of your comics again, Brian. I swear to God. Don't you talk shit about Packers.
I got a
I know
backer
where
train
you
going.
live. I know where you live.
Hey, Fish,
He
you have a
lives-
backer train going? You do, right?
Yeah.
I just had
Where's
one. Yeah,
Alice?
I got 6 minutes left on mine now.
You got two then, because I only have 3 minutes left. So you still got two on the train.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun to watch. This is really fun to watch. I don't like. It's probably making for a horribly boring stream now because nobody's talking. We're just all watching. But
And my camera's dead, but I don't want to mess with the controls too much right now. I might lose you again.
nah, we can still hear you clear. That's good enough, right? That's
I
good.
wonder, could
It's
you
fine.
share it? Could you share your screen, Sarah, and let us see?
Of course I can. I see. That's why I need Fish here.
It's almost as
that?
if we do this regularly. People gonna think we know what we're doing pretty soon.
I
you
would
go.
not like that. That would be horrible.
So yeah, you can just kind of scroll around here and see who's got what.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All
Yeah,
right,
because the
good.
ones that are ending
Oh, that
properly, it
one's-
says like
Karma's
64
down to
seconds.
Yeah.
a minute.
Yeah.
Do I have to
above-
keep refreshing, or will it refresh it on its own here?
You might want to refresh from time
Pinky
to maybe
curves,
Just
not
do
too
it anyway.
long.
What the heck? Yeah. See some. Oh, yeah. This
Oh,
is
a lot of them are down. I'm at 4 now.
Piles of Comics 87 said,
I got
I'm a writer
110
too.
seconds to go.
Congratulations.
Matt's book must have got one because Dr. Gravelight's got 6 minutes on it again.
Yeah, that's exciting. This whole backer train thing is cool. Hey, Locke,
Yeah.
could you explain the backer train to our folks?
Do I explain the backer train? Well, Jason just did it.
Where the hell was I?
I think your computer told you to go away for a minute, and you
It did, it did.
then he
I
explained
missed
it, and then you came back. But yeah, you
See?
did.
Yeah, so
15
backer-
seconds.
Backer train is
Oh.
always there, but once
Oh.
a backer pledges to your campaign, it sets a 10-minute timer, and then if a backer pledges within that 10 minutes, it resets the timer and it creates a backer train.
This is the one, the Moonlight Galactica. This is the one that could still make it. Like it's kind of close.
kind of close.
I would love it. Like it would have been in a perfect world, we would have had 100% on Comictopia, but like that would have been unrealistic to expect in the beginning. And I think we did amazing. Like we all did amazing
Yeah.
on this,
yeah.
all
Yeah.
things considered. I mean, and that's coming from somebody who's definitely not funding. Like it's not gonna happen. Which
Oh, a
I've
bunch of them
accepted
are
this.
done now. Yeah.
I don't like,
Here's the thing,
and
got a new one.
I'm so excited.
Unfamiliar is still going. Unfamiliar might hit another one.
Did it? I need to refresh again.
Oh yeah, Kiki Carrot's done.
Pink Carrots done? I did not expect that one to be
that
done.
one was gonna go forever.
Yeah,
Oh, they hit good.
Magnetic Con.
Oh yeah, no, they did amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, her artwork is so beautiful. Like it is just breathtakingly beautiful.
It's so clean.
Oh man,
Like
it is.
stylized.
Trying to do the crossover pinup of our characters really pushed me into like studying how her style was and stuff to match it up. And when she messaged me and told me how much she liked it, that meant a lot because her work is really impressive.
I'm done. Mine ended.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Ending
Like to thank the
soon.
Academy, all the backers.
There we go.
How many backers did you end up with?
Who, me? 81.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
nice.
pretty excited.
Awesome.
It's a first comic too. It's not a series, so that's kind of exciting. And the hardcover. I mean, the average pledge was like over $40, so I'm really excited that people
Good deal.
came out for this.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
It's good stuff. I'm really happy.
Yeah.
That's great. I am so happy this did so well, and like a lot of my friends that are on here funded and did amazing. And I can't properly express how excited I am to freaking read Alice Lost in Wonderland because I've seen the anthology pieces already. I was
man.
like, when are you making that book? Because that needs to
is
happen.
that is one of the things that I kept getting every time anybody read the anthology. It was always like that 4 pages of Alice was amazing. Like, when are you going to do more of that? And I had so many people come back at the last 2 cons just to come back the next day and be like, okay, I read that one and that Alice story was awesome. And so when this opportunity came up and they're like, yeah, let's launch a new book on Backer Kit, I was like, you know what? I got just the project that I was going to do anyway. And so I was so super
I don't know
excited.
how who else recommended you for the Comictopia project, but I absolutely like when Lafia sent an email and was like, "Do you know anybody else?" And I was like, "Yes, I do."
Sarah, you're on a train. You're on a 4-car train.
A 4-car train.
Yes.
All right.
Wow!
on.
I gotta refresh.
Click on it. Click on your Granica one. You can actually see you got 4 on the train and 3 minutes
Nice.
left. Exciting.
That's
Woo!
That was awesome.
it would be super cool. Like yeah, I'm just really excited that there's that many people that want to see this book. Like that
Oh, yeah.
makes me really
That-
happy because this
They're
is like
still
I've
working
been
on it after the fact to try and
Yeah.
get it there. That shows
Ah.
devotion to the idea. Oh, I'm down to 40 seconds. Oh,
I've been part of like most of the books that we've done like for the entire time that we've been doing this. I've been at least a small part of most of the books, if not all the books. But this is my first book that I like had a really huge hand in. So it's been stressful, but also and like it's a little disappointing, but like 132
seconds
people
left.
want to see my book.
That is really cool.
And that's
130
super cool.
That would fill
It's
a room.
almost
Could you
over.
imagine?
I mean, 0 people would want to see the book if I hadn't made it. And like
Exactly, yeah.
if Brian hadn't foolishly suggested this story as a cool story to me, and then I was like, we should do this. And yeah, like nobody
is
would
it.
ever know. Like it would be just, Brian and his handful of people that, because you post this, Brian, correct me if I'm wrong, you post this on your 24-hour engineer website. He posts his writing on there, and he's got engineer people watch that blog. They don't watch it for pros. They watch it for engineer stuff, which I do watch his website. I go and I check it a lot, but I don't understand most of what's on there. So like, I do it because I'm trying to support my friend, but I'm like, I have no idea what's going on in here. You know what you need to do is you need to like start bugging Electro Boom, that guy on YouTube, and like get him to have you on to his show sometime as a guest. Because then he explains stuff, and I understand that a little more.
Done.
Oh my gosh, it's
Yep.
wild. It's
Unfamiliars.
wild that Unfamiliars did. Oh god, I mean, it's cute stuff. Cute stuff doesn't do as well.
That's amazing, yeah.
But they did really well, though.
They did so
did
well.
great.
165.
I'm so excited about how all the different stuff that I'm learning about. I learned that sci-fi is not doing great right now, and that's the thing that I didn't know. But
that's something I had to learn. Like going to cons, Green Zone has been a much tougher sell lately because everybody's attitude about police officers.
Yeah, we've got some complicated politics around that one. Yeah.
And I realized every time I go to pitch it, whatever your preconceived notion is about cops, you decide before I ever get there what the book's about and have made a decision on it. And it's usually nothing about what the book's about, but you've already made up your mind. So it's a much tougher sell right now.
If you guys have complicated feelings about cops, you should still read. You should still read it because it's a really good story.
That's
and
part of what it is. It is complicated.
You gotta go. Virgil needs more love. I don't want to spam our comics too much,
And
But yeah,
also,
look
don't
at
forget-
this stuff ticking. Oh my gosh,
Don't
it's so
forget we have
wild.
Nexus in here. Nexus is like a real,
Where?
you know,
Oh yeah, Steve Rude the dude.
yeah,
I freaking love that. He's Steve Rude the dude everywhere, and I love it.
yeah. He's like a real, you know, like Stan the Man Lee and like Jack King Kirby. He's like, he's one of those guys. He's one of the old comic book store guys who kind of came over to the indie world for us.
Yeah.
I wish one of my names rhymed with something fun like that, so that I could be Stan the Man or Steve Rude the dude.
Like Lafia the Mafia.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, see, no, like I
White
can't
the
make
Mite.
puns on my name because then it just sounds racist.
No, Sarah White the Mite.
Yeah.
Okay. But not
See,
like
I
the
was gonna
bug,
say
like the
that
mite.
Whitey, and then that sounds bad.
Or like bite me, Sarah White. No.
How about Laguna Beach? How about Laguna Beach, Sarah?
My brother's nickname in
Oh,
high
let's
school
stop
was
this
Whitey, so I steer clear of that stuff anyway because of that. And there's so many people from my hometown that didn't know that my brother Eric has a sister, and I was like, oh, actually, he has two. Like, cool. Because I'm the weird one of the family, so like I'm into comics and
Yeah.
the
The men
and
who
like
read comics are in that
superheroes and
category.
yeah, movies and art. And my sister used to be a cop, and my brother's a farmer. My other brother's a welder. So like I'm very obviously one of these things is not like the other, right? Nothing wrong with that, but like it was like we didn't have a lot in common as kids for that reason, because they were more into the jockey stuff, and I was like, I want to go try out for forensics,
CSI.
Wow.
Nexus is down to under a minute.
Look at this stuff.
41 seconds.
No. I miss, and look at all these numbers on here. Do you guys see these numbers?
Oh yeah.
I'm so it's so cool. It's just so cool how everybody did so well on here. And this was the first Comictopia. Imagine how cool the next one's gonna be.
Oh yeah. I can't wait.
Yeah, I've been talking with our team a lot about setting expectations for like categories, and I'm trying to let people know, like, for comics, this is really a good sign. Like, this is moving in the right direction. They're not $1 million projects, but for indie comics, you got to remember, y'all are putting out multiples a year. It's not like you're, with board games, they'll put out one every 1 year or something like that. Like, you're going to try and repeat this throughout the year, and if this is one of 3 or 4 per year, you're going to get close to something remotely sustainable, if you keep it up, So I'm very proud of this group for a couple of things. Number one, the turnaround. I know how this all works. We asked you to do this in a very short turnaround for what you needed to accomplish. So I'm presuming most of you had something ready to go, and then you just kind of did more of a readjust.
Well, everybody except for Fish. Fish just was like, "Oh yeah, sure, I'll just make a new comic."
There's
Well,
exceptions.
I had like maybe 12 pages done already that were in an anthology series. So I just had to draw the rest of the book and get it lettered and done and build a campaign while I was closing out another campaign and shipping out its rewards. But it wasn't that hard.
Too, also coloring our book. Don't forget that.
Oh yeah, that's what else. I forgot I was doing something else.
But
Let's talk a little bit about Frank Martin. I mean, he was my partner in the freebie thing. I mean, he ran a digital campain.
Yeah.
Only digital, and he has 71 backers and $1,500, all digital.
That's
I mean,
cool.
That's outrageous. That's all profit.
That's cool. Yeah, that's cool.
I got so many digital backers on this campaign on my last couple of campaigns, and I love that. I'm a big
love that
digital
too.
comic enthusiast myself. I can take 1,000 comic books with me on vacation on a thumb drive, and I love that. I don't have to carry crates of comics around and worry about them getting damaged. I
Right.
absolutely love it. But but then again, that's purely profit on the other side. Those are books that I don't have to pay to ship and everything. I can get it to you at a better price, and everybody's happy. I love it.
Sooner, cheaper, less work. Yeah, it's great.
Looks like we're down to 4 books, and Laguna's one of them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
she keeps going. She keeps
that's
going.
it's exciting. I'm like I was like, I mean, it's still possible.
Yeah, it actually is. It actually is.
Yeah, that would be a real Seabiscuit moment, but it's possible.
I really would. Could you imagine? It's so cool.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I would just retire now if that happened. Like I was just like, I'm done. I cannot do better than this. I need to quit now.
Not gonna beat that moment. This was the high point of my life. I'm going out on a win.
Simone Biles, I will not do this well ever again. Yeah, if that happened, oh my gosh.
You'd be peaking at 2024.
I would be like, I mean, handwriting 133 notes to everybody because, oh my gosh, that would be so cool. But yeah,
I'm
like
already
just
gonna be doing that.
yeah,
Collective is pretty,
I have done that more than once. Yes, handwrite notes. Y'all won't be able to read what I wrote though, so it doesn't really matter.
I didn't
that
say
much.
you could read it, but I am absolutely. I write handwritten thank you notes to everybody.
Nice.
Where do we stand here?
3 seconds.
We're okay. So like with Steve Roots, we might never be gone. We might have to just cut this off because they.
No, he's ended. Steve's ended.
Steve's ended. It
Yeah.
says it ended. It doesn't say it ended. It says.
Yeah, it
Oh,
says-
I just refreshed.
Oh,
Hey,
no,
just
yeah,
refresh.
nope. He's got 9 minutes again.
He's still going.
It said ended on mine, and then I refreshed it, and it said 10 minutes. So we got a last second backer train.
Somebody.
Yep, they got lot. Yeah, it's happening.
Oh yeah, I just refreshed and lost one. Yeah.
There's just 3 left now.
Oh, that's crazy.
Oh, that
I know,
on the train.
This is so
Yeah, what-
exciting. Like, my book's not even on there anymore, and I'm so excited. I'm still watching it. Waiting to see which one's the
that
last.
Moonlight probably didn't get funded if they ended, so that one might be a pickup later.
No, we
They
tried.
came close. They came close.
They did. They did well. Again, like that's just a testament to the fact that sci-fi is not the thing right now because all the books that didn't get funded were sci-fi books, and
Funny connection.
so-
I never saw that before, but they
Yeah.
are all sci-fi
Isn't like
books.
comic books didn't it start off in the sci-fi realm?
and
Yeah, I
like
just noticed
Star
that, like,
Trek and Star Wars, like they're all still so big and like, but
was
really
it,
nobody
Red-
wants sci-fi
Red
right now.
Skirts.
Yeah,
The
Red Skirts was.
didn't fun. I really wanted to see that one.
I know, same.
Yeah, that book. All these books are great. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes it's timing, sometimes it's messaging, sometimes you never know. So you just gotta.
Are you guys all ready for like 8,000 email notifications when all these things either fund and you get the email saying we did it or the email saying we didn't do it, and then the second email that says okay, Backer Kit's charged you now.
Right.
Emails.
It's gonna be a lot of
Oh,
emails.
another thing to do with the Topias for charging because banks don't like it when backers get charged all at the same time for multiple projects. We back multiple projects, like your card will get charged once an hour for each project. We learned that.
Oh my
from
god.
Comictopia.
It's gonna
like-
take a whole day for ours. Like we literally backed so many projects.
For Pintopia, mine did take a full day. I backed over 20 projects, and I was like, "Oh,
Wow.
cool."
Yeah,
But it didn't
that's-
nothing got flagged.
that's cool though. That's what you want.
It's more just like an online shopper habit than a
Mhm.
weird spammy looking habit.
I'm so glad I was looking around the backer kit, just whole creator setup thing the other day, looking for, I don't even remember what I was looking for. But as I was digging around in there, looking through my settings and stuff, I realized that the card I had on file had expired and I hadn't put the new expiration date on there. I'm so glad I saw that and fixed it yesterday instead of getting the notification
Gosh.
today that, like, 20 charges failed. I'm glad I saw that.
That would have been so
Oh, that would have been
painful
so
for
crazy.
you. I mean, I would like to think that fixing it once would have, like, you wouldn't have to go in and like adjust it on every single campaign, just on your main backer kit account. But, what a pain! And as a creator, how annoying it is when you have all those cards bouncing and you have to be like, okay, did you know
It's
this
always the same
happened?
people too. It's always the same people, and it's always the same couple of people that are the last ones to fill in their
Yep.
name every time. Oh,
Yeah, I
man.
want to thank all the guys. I want to thank all the guys in the comments, like Tempest Launch being super supportive and cool, and Gensi
Oh, yeah.
and they're really
Gensei
good
and
people.
Brian's here.
Yeah.
Kyles of Comics. Yeah, I met
Thanks, guys.
Kyles of Comics 87 yesterday when I did Kicking It with K-pop, who
Cool.
is an awesome streamer as well.
It looks like we're down to 2. Hey, I gotta say, Laguna, Sarah, you ran a great campaign like that. It's not like you didn't raise the most. You had tons of. You were somewhere in the middle there. You had lots of backers. You had lots of support.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm very like this. I know it's a little bit disappointing. It is disappointing that we didn't fund, but we got new people interested in
Right.
our stuff, and that's like of 133. I bet 2/3 of those. I didn't do the numbers yet, but I bet 2/3 of those are not returners. They are new people.
Yeah,
and
they will come back when you relaunch.
I'm very excited about that. Like, to know that 133 people actually want to read this comic is really cool too. Because, like, you know, I have no idea. Like, maybe I suck at making comics. Maybe I should just stick to the graphic design stuff. You know, like. But now I'm like,
But
okay,
133 people want it. That ain't bad.
yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm way okay with that.
Hey, Sarah, can you tell us about that morality is not in my area of expertise T-shirt?
Katie says it's Katie that's the last one to fill out the backer kit, so it's Katie's fault. Everybody, you can all go home now. It's Katie's fault. We figured it out.
Okay.
Yeah, the morality is not my area of expertise. Is so the cat in the comic is a robot cat, and normally the robot cats in the universe cannot talk, but this one can, and that is one of the things that cat says, of the many things that cat says. Yeah, it's a robot cat because the big mega corporation Granica recognized the need for people to have companions when they go on long haul space trips so that they don't go crazy, but also that it would be unethical to take a real cat into space because if something bad happened, there's spacesuits for the humans so that they don't die, but there's no spacesuit for the cat, so that would be incredibly traumatic, right? We don't want that. So real animals, real pets are forbidden to go to space via these channels. I'm sure somebody does it illegally, right? But they have
You know
robot
there's
cat. They
the
came up with the
animals
robot.
lingering in outer space.
Absolutely.
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 That's a
Cool.
good story right there. That was
But yeah, so
yeah.
they made robot cats to do that. And normally there's a travel pets has travel cat, travel dog, and travel unicorn. And the unicorn has a mechanism to talk. But and we'll have to ask Brian to go into more detail about that at some point because I have questions on that too that I never actually asked him because we were too busy making the book. But yeah, the cat and the dog are not supposed to talk, but this one can for a very special reason that you have to buy the book to find out.
It
Yeah, I love
always
sci-fi. I love sci-fi. I don't know what's wrong with the world right now.
Oh man, I love it so much. It
Yeah.
reminds me of that story in Star Trek. Like it was just in the books before, but like the reason in the books that there were no animals like on the Enterprise and stuff was because when Captain Archer took his dog up, it got registered as like a DOG and nobody knew what that acronym was for. And when they couldn't figure it out on one of the manifests and they had to account for everything, they just said that like it exploded in space and to account for where that thing went. So then they passed a rule that you couldn't take animals on starships
Whoa!
because somebody assumed, well, they must blow up in outer space. So because of that error, you couldn't have dogs anymore. And it was
That's
just
awesome.
a weird little thing in a book about Star Trek back in the day. And then like when I saw Captain Archer's dog on the Enterprise show, I was waiting for that to happen, and I don't think it ever
The
did.
exploding dog scene. Oh no!
Well, for the paperwork error that made them
Yeah,
think
yeah,
he was
okay, yeah.
dead.
Oh, that would be amazing.
He's probably still alive in the buffers, you know.
Oh yeah.
Could be. The live reading that Brian referenced in the comments there is that Granica began its life as a radio play, and we had on the Backer Kit campaign you could buy a ticket to watch us all get together on a live stream and do a live reading of the play. And I don't know, like when we relaunch, I don't know if we should put that in. What do you guys think? Should we put that in?
Anything that's community engagement like that, absolutely. And reach out to us. We can find creative new ways
Awesome.
to put it out there. And yeah, I'll give you a clue. If you're launching on BackerKit and you have ideas for new things or live streaming things or polls or trivia, you'll get so much extra attention because we're really invested in that community approach.
Well, we should talk because Lafayette, you know I'm a big on the live streams. I'm all about the live streams. We should talk.
Well,
But
I was thinking, would you want to cross collab with Moonlight Galactica? Because I think maybe your funding goal was a little too high. Because clearly people want to see your
yes,
comic book.
that's one thing that I wish I could have gone back and changed, was that I was like, we don't need it to be this high. This is just my ideal goal, and I didn't think anything about that. And I wish I had said it lower. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so I
But
think
yeah,
you two
for
should
sure.
connect and talk about relaunching a BackerKit. But yeah, we
Thanks
can do
for
that on the
coming,
back end.
Brian.
I think I'm gonna have to bounce. I have a bunch of creators I need to get back to. That's my job.
Yeah,
is
I
help
think
them
we
on the
should
back end.
probably take. Yeah, we should probably just end because these two are
Yes.
never going to end. Look at this. They're just going to go
Go on.
forever. But thank you everybody so much for coming. This was really fun.
Absolutely.
And we got new ideas and we got suggestions and we know what we did right, and that's all really cool. So if you guys are leaving comments after the fact and you want Jason or Lafayette or Fish to get them, I will make sure that they get them. So go ahead, if you're watching this after the fact, I'll make sure that gets passed on. And thanks for joining us. And I have a stream tonight. I am guest hosting SketchUp with Magamel over on the EXP on YouTube, and Fish is gonna be there, and we're gonna make. I don't know if we're gonna make Mel and Maud regret asking me to do this for them, but I'm not.
Yeah, we will.
I'm not going to destroy their show. I'm not mean like that. And I love their show, and I love Mog and Mel. They're cool. So we will be good. We won't do that. But
Thanks, everyone.
but
Thank
yes,
you,
thank
man.
you
It was
so
nice
much.
And
And
thank you for participating. This was an amazing event.
Yes, thank
Yes.
Oh, thank you all for
Having us.
making it such an awesome event. Oh,
thank you
Great
guys.
work.
Yes, this was great. And yeah, and I think that's it for now. Well, come watch SketchUp with Mog and Mel tonight, and we're gonna drop.